There was a girl working as a nurse for a dentist in one of the new areas. This young girl's father passed away, and she had siblings she needed to support, in addition to her sick mother. Therefore, she had to work. Despite the challenging circumstances, she loved the nursing profession dearly. Things were going well until the day everything changed. The dentist she worked for passed away, leaving the poor girl stranded at home for a few days until she could find another job. She went to a pharmacist nearby and explained her situation. The pharmacist decided to help her. The pharmacist told her that he had a friend who worked as an HR employee in a famous government hospital and that they needed a new nurse to work there. The girl managed to secure a job at that renowned hospital and thanked the pharmacist profusely. At the beginning of the new month, the girl started her job in the burn unit of the hospital. On her first day, she met the nurses and the head nurse, who told her she needed to come to work at the hospital at night to get used to the working environment. As you all know, nursing shifts often change between morning and night. The girl was supposed to start her shift at 11 o'clock at night. Everything went smoothly, and after checking on all the burn unit patients, the girl decided to take a short break and sit at the desk in front of the unit. Suddenly, she noticed something coming out of the unit's door heading towards her, repeating a phrase she couldn't quite hear. It approached her, and she heard it clearly saying, "I want water, I want water." The girl felt extreme fear and hurried to the nurse's room where her colleague, Iman, was. She told the nurse, "Iman, what happened?" And Iman started laughing, saying, "Calm down, it might be one of the patients. Of course, we can't give burn patients any water, so they're always thirsty." The day ended, and the nurse, whose name was Hanan, went back home. She slept deeply until her mother woke her up at 8 o'clock in the evening. The girl prepared herself and went to the hospital to start her shift as usual at 11 o'clock at night. On that day, Hanan was alone as her colleague Iman didn't show up. The day started with a strange occurrence. As Nurse Hanan climbed the stairs of the hospital, she heard what sounded like someone walking behind her. She stopped to look back but saw no one. This continued until she reached her department, the burn unit. Hanan started her work, and while she was checking on the patients as usual, she heard something strange. It seemed like a child calling her name, saying, "Hanan, Hanan." Hanan tried to focus on her work, but the voice seemed to come from all corners of the department, not just one place. Hanan decided to go to the restroom to wash her face and calm down a bit. The restroom in the burn unit consisted of 4 internal stalls, each with a basin for washing. One of the stalls was closed. Hanan thought it might be one of the cleaning staff or a patient inside. She stopped in front of one of the basins to wash her face, but the water was cut off. Hanan tried another basin, but it also had no water. She reached the last basin, where water started flowing forcefully from all the faucets in the 4 basins. Hanan didn't know what to do and struggled to turn off the faucets. She looked into the mirror and saw that someone inside the restroom was trying to push their feet out from under the door. The terrifying part was that their feet were horribly disfigured, presumably from severe burns. Suddenly, that thing looked at Hanan from under the slightly short door, smiled, and began shouting loudly. Hanan immediately started running and didn't stop until she reached the security office on the ground floor. The security officer told her that such things were normal in any hospital. Hanan decided to go back to work, but this time she would take the elevator. As Hanan was in the elevator, it suddenly stopped at a floor other than the one she worked on. Hanan was puzzled. The scary part was that this floor was completely empty and under maintenance, with nothing on it. Hanan stuck her head out of the elevator door and saw something that froze her blood. There were shrouds moving around on the empty floor, heading towards her. Hanan started pressing the buttons to make the elevator work, and eventually, it moved a little but stopped again after a few seconds. This time, something else happened. Hanan noticed that someone was trying to forcefully enter from under the elevator door. She saw it was the same thing that appeared to her in the restroom, smiling at her and then screaming. Hanan closed her eyes and started reciting verses from the Quran to ward off that thing, but it wasn't the end. Suddenly, Hanan saw blood raining down on her from the elevator ceiling, as if the sky was raining blood. Hanan started screaming, but to no avail. Suddenly, the blood stopped. Hanan thought she would finally reach the floor she wanted to go to, but that wasn't true. Before Hanan reached her floor, she saw a woman with very long hair reaching out her hand towards Hanan, her hands covered in blood. Hanan fell to the ground from the shock of what was happening, only to wake up in a bed with some hospital staff nearby. Her co-workers told her they found her unconscious in front of the elevator.